counted by numbers, only counted by real connection with Haqq. If there are كم من فئة قليلة غلبت فئة كثيرة بإذن الله. If there's a very minor, tiny community and they are united, maybe they are more strong, more powerful than the huge number of people without any kind of these things. So this is the journey of coming back to our hurumat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to restrict our hurumat and to gain benefit from it. One of the hadith, it is very strange that one time, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was sitting, and Hassan ibn Ali, the grandson of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, came to him. So he kissed him. He kissed him. So a person was sitting. His name is Aqra ibn Habis. He was a Bedouin. So he said, "Oh Rasulullah, I have 10 kids, and I never kissed any one of them." So Rasulullah sallam looked to him and he said, "Man la yarham la yurham." If you are not showing mercy to others, you will not deserve for mercy yourself. And it means, for example, it is sometimes you will feel that it is really very important hadith, especially in our family relation, right? Family relation. Now in these days we are become very, very, very disciplined under law, right? It is my right. It is my right. It is not my duty. It is not my duty, right? So we limit our relation just like a very official relation. Just like we go to office, we do our job and we come back, right? In family life, it not matter. The matter is how you show your affection. Many times it happened that I suppose I appreciate something from my kids or my wife, but I don't want to show it. I feel, oh, if I show it, it's bad and so on. No, it should be. Even Rasulullah said, a person said, I love someone. I said, go and say to him. So it means, for example, the affection itself is not good, but affection beside the legal thing is also very important, right? So the raham, or the mercy, it must be, for example, our attitude first. Of course, starting with the relatives, starting from the neighbors, starting with others, and so on. Even Rasulullah said in Hadith, Abu Hurairah reported that, and it is also Bukhari and Muslim Hadith, إذا صلى أحدكم الناس فليخفف فإن فيهم الضعيف والسقيم والكبير وإذا صلى أحدكم لنفسه فليطول ما شاء. When you are leading a salat and you are the imam, so you should not prolong your salat too much. Maybe those who are praying behind you, some weak, some sick, and some elder people. So, but if you pray for yourself, so make whatever you can take time for it. It is okay. The rule is in this hadith. The rule is one thing is very important, that one time it happened that one Sahabi, is it Mu'adh ibn Jabal, he was praying Fajr Salat with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he was going back to Quba, and he was leading Salat there. So, and he loved to prolong Salat. So one person, he is a shepherd, and he has his sheep and so on. So he said, I pray and I go early to take my sheep. So he prolonged. So he broke his Salat, and he came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he said, I fasted. This reason I not joined him. So Rasul said, Afattanun anta ya Mu'az. Oh Mu'az, are you making people to suffer or to do some kind of bad decision? Don't do it. So it means, for example, this is the reason why Islamic focus is always iqtisad, balance. Not to this side more, not to that side more, right? Not too much quick. Sometimes if Imam is praying in a second, just like you are not able to say Subhanallah and he went, suppose, other sajda and so on. So it should not be this way, or prolonging too much. And sometimes people say, oh, I love to make my sajda longer. Yeah, you do it, but for example, for yourself. So balance is very important thing. But same time, it happened that suppose people love to pray behind Imam who is prolonging, and they love. It is okay. It is not the issue. But the standard should be which is useful for everyone. Sometimes it happens that some Imam is praying very good voice, So we want to listen more. It is okay. It is not the issue. But the issue is that if some kind of, you see the reason why Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, sometime he was praying longer and he heard the voice of a kid. So he make it shorter, right? So in that sense, for example, yani this is very very important thing. I love to read Quran and enjoy, right? But same time I have to care about the other people. So how I balance both? This is important thing. Is most of the time we lose this connection, this kind of thing, right? Uh, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Yeah, this is hadith. We say, "Inni la aqumu ila salat." I sometimes pray and I want to prolong it, but asma'ul buka as-sabi. I heard a kid is crying, so I make my salat again. The other hadith is very important. المسلم أخو المسلم لا يظلمه ولا يسلمه من كان في حاجة أخيه كان الله في حاجته ومن فرج عن مسلم كربة فرج الله عنه بها كربة من كرب يوم القيامة ومن ستر مسلما ستره الله يوم القيامة. It is also reported by Bukhari and Muslim. So the Muslim is just like he is a brother to other Muslim. So he should not do anything of injustice with him or her. And he should not leave him alone. And he should not suppose he needs support and you mind your own business. I do my business. No, he should not. So if someone is doing some sparing time to help some other person, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will compensate at the time when he needs. Waman farraja, any person he was in a very bad situation and he helped him to come out from this problem, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will help him at the day of Qiyamah. That time is will be help. Waman satara, any person he saw something bad from Muslim and he covered it, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will cover him at the day of judgment. This is a really very important hadith. Yani the zulm is actually sometimes is relevant. It is a relevant issue. Injustice. Suppose, yani you are as a position holder of something, right? A person come to you and said, "Oh, do my job. This is my application. Please do it." He said, "I cannot do it. It is not. Yani you're not qualified, or you're not. For example, you are missing this thing." He said, "You are doing injustice with me." So for him it's injustice, but for you it is justice. So justice not means, for example, it should be 100%. But it means, for example, if you are really, and sometimes it happens that you see a person, suppose you think that he is not capable to do this job, and you say, "I will not give you this job." And say, "Oh, you are jealous or you are so and so." So if your intention is okay, and you are seeing some kind of reason behind it, it will not be injustice. But for no reason you say, "No, I don't like your face, to go away from his." So it means, for example, this is kind of this thing should not be attitude of Muslim. And when the person is doing helping someone, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will compensate him. And other times, last thing is very important. If someone, there are two things. Suppose a Muslim doing something, it is not good. So the better thing are three. First thing, bring him to court, just like justice, right? It is the thing. And second thing is that just advise him, right? So say to him directly that you are doing this thing, don't do it. But mostly people do third thing. Instead of correcting him, instead of doing this, they start backbiting. They start to others. This person is doing this, right? So now this thing will not help him, will not help the problem, not solve the problem. So Rasul said, if you are doing something and you are in position to, so for example, expose this person, don't do it. Just like, for example, keep silent. And this, the standard of this thing, as Rasulullah said one time, if someone has saw something bad and it is punishable, so if you cover it, it is okay. But if the issue comes to court, then the ignoring it is not working. As Rasul said, if you bring someone to court, then the issue will be under the court. And this is actually very important here in Canadian situation. And suppose many people, they are committing some bad thing, right? Not what we will do. We have no punishment. We have no court here. Islamic court is not here. So we have only one standard. We cover him. And if we can say to him something as advice, we should do it, right? And we ask him not to do it. Many time it happened to me. Many people come to me. He said, "We did this thing." I said, "Make tawbah and do it again," right? So it is a kind of satr. Satr means, for example, I am just like putting under the table. But if I just like go to everyone and say this person is so and so, it is actually not a good idea. For example, to respect Muslim. I should respect both things. I should respect Allah's hukum. It is a violation. And same time, respect of Muslims. So even bad Muslim is also respectful. One time it happened that a person, and I many times quote this hadith, he was drinking, right? And he was many times punished. So one time the people were just like beating him, and he said, "Oh, curse on you." So Rasulullah stopped him. He said, "Don't say this word to him." Yes, punishment is his, and we have to do this thing to correct himself and to apply the rule of Allah, but we should not abuse. And what he said, "Don't say this word because this person loved Rasulullah." And he's committing sin, but him time some other time. So many times it happens that we see some Muslim, maybe not practicing Muslim, not good Muslim. So we say, "Oh, this person is nothing." You don't know. Maybe something hidden in of his body. Maybe, for example, come to other time in the way of good indication of Islam, right? So in that sense, the safety for us to save others, right? And save others means, for example, to correct them quietly without any exposing them and so on. So this is also the one of the respect. So this is hadith which I said, المسلم أخو المسلم لا يخونه ولا يكذبه ولا يخذله كل المسلم على المسلم حرام عرضه وماله ودمه. Rasulullah said, the Muslim is a brother of Muslim, so he should not breach him or cheat him, and should not lie against him, and should not dishonor him. And a Muslim's respect means that his dignity, his money, and his blood all are restricted. We should not do anything which is, and taqwa hahuna. He said taqwa is in the heart. And a person's dishonor or this bad position of Muslim is that he belittle other Muslim. "Oh, I am so and so, and this person is nothing," and so on. It should not be, because you don't know. Maybe some person is maybe good in one side, maybe bad other side, and bad other side, good other side, right? And this is the reason why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you should spend your time with those who remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who make zikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? وَلَا تَطُطِ الَّذِينَ يَدُونَ رَبًّا بِالْغَدَاةِ وَالْعَشِيِّ يُرِيدُونَ وَجْهَهُ. So in that sense, this is also a very important point that we, in this our time, this is the situation happening very strangely, that we now treat people with their positions, right? This person is prime minister, this person is minister, this person is so, this person is very rich person. So we respect him. The respect of individual starts with as individual, not plus human plus money, human plus position. You are not respecting a human being, right? So the respect of Muslim means respect of Muslim beside he has no position, right? So just like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala established a standard. A standard. What is the standard? A standard is that the real dignity of believer will be visible when you respect Muslims for the sake of Islam, right? أذلة المؤمنين وعزة الكافرين. The believers are very, very kind to believers, right? So suppose if someone come to the door of a king and he say, "Who is he?" He say, "Just like a common Muslim." "Oh, I don't want to say." Like. So you are dishonoring Islam and Muslim. And this is really, we are, and many times we talk many issues that we need this and this and this to make Islam good, to make Muslim good. I say establish one standard, that show respect for Islam and show respect for Muslim, right? if in your suppose, for example, sitting, and if you're meeting, and if you're, for example, company, you are respecting a person because he's a Muslim, it means, for example, you are honoring and you are respecting, or you are giving the truth of hurumat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is a very important hadith, and we quote it this many times. The Sunnah says, "Unsur akhaka zalimun wa mazluman." فقال رجل يا رسول الله انصره إذا كان مظلوما أرأيت إن كان ظالما فكيف أنصره فقالت تحجزه أو تمنعه من الظلم فإن ذلك نصره. It is reported by Bukhari that you should help your brother even he is a zalim, committing injustice or oppressed. So one person, and you see that the Muslims, when Islam become their option, right? So how their sense of Islam become so very critical. Then when Rasulullah said, help your brother when he's doing injustice, so they become alert, right? He said, how we can help a Muslim, even Muslim, he's a Muslim, but he's doing injustice, how I help him? And it was a question. So Rasulullah said, turned the answer in a very different way. He said, you stop him from injustice, ask him not to come and take. So it means it is also help for them, because you are not caring about yourself, but you don't want to see a Muslim commit injustice and continue, and you say, okay, yeah, this is his job, I don't care about it. And this is a very important, because in our time we can see that this hadith is actually one of the very great source to explain that how Islam is for example, just in its ruling. Yani Islam is not taking part or support even the Muslim. Suppose in Arab poetry it said ana ma'a qawmi wa injaru, right? I am with my nation even they are doing injustice, and this is the same standard applied now, right? Because it is my leader, it is my hero, it is my nation, right? They are doing good, okay, they are doing bad, I am okay with it. Islam says no, your standard should be good. You should respect a person, but you should respect also but same time my standard is supposed to be, I ask him not to commit this justice, or ask him to stop. حق المسلم ست. Rasul said there are many حقوق. In one hadith 6, another hadith 7. Hadith said إذا لقيته فسلم عليه. If you see someone, make salam, say salam to him. If he invite you, accept. Whether sahaka, if he asks you good advice, give him very good sincere advice. When he got a sneak, then give him, say ya rahmakallah. And if he's sick, visit him, and if passed away, then follow him in janazah. Another hadith says 7. بعيادة المريض, yani when the person is sick, we go visit him. Sometimes it happens that you want to go and they say, no, doctor doesn't allow now, right? Some kind of very severe situations, please avoid, don't go do these things. It is okay. And same time when we go Riadul Marid, it not means we are sitting and enjoying and socializing and just like, no. Go and take minimum time, right? So maybe, for example, this person will be not, for example, feeling comfortable and so on. But most of the time in our situation is happen that when we are going to visit Marid, so instead of sitting with him, mostly the time goes in drinking teas and socializing and so on. So it should not be a kind of attitude. But Tiba'ul Janaza, if we are going, we are able, the first thing we pray Salatul Janaza, second thing we go to for funeral. If you are not able, whatever, so there's a different rewards for it. And sneaking, when we say someone say, we say Yarhamakallah. And if suppose some person asks something and you swear with Allah, do it, fulfill it, and help the Muslim, the oppressed person. And some person inviting you, so you accept him. Invitation means two things. First thing, it happened many times that suppose some person invited you for dinner or something, and you are fasting, suppose, right? So invitation means you accept from him, you go there, but maybe you're not needed. And sometimes food is not good for you, or you don't, for example, for some reason, health reason, you don't eat it. So invitation, acceptance means acceptance, but eating is extra. If you eat it, is okay. If you don't eat, it is also okay. The Then he said, when Hana and Khawatim, and Allah subhanahu Rasulullah asked us not to use uh, gold for men, and our golden should not be, our utensils should not be with gold or silver, and we are not allowed, for example, for men to use the pure silk. The authentic, synthetic silk is not under this haram, but the real silk, which is coming from very insect, it is not allowed for Muslim. It's allowed, but the portion of clothing may be used as a pure silk. Sometimes it happens just like some portion of thing is okay, but not the whole thing. So these are the, for example, some issues which is Imam Nawawi brought under this chapter, and we stop here. Jazakumullahu khairan.